Hello, everyone. I normally don't do videos like this, at least not anymore. But it just what's the obvious. So there's a YouTuber named Heed and Secede. So I don't know what Heed means, or and I'm assuming what people mentioned that like a few years ago, I guess his Black Pill channel, I guess took off, and then from what I've seen, the views and stuff like that, he's kind of like maybe on a decline a little bit. But one live he had, like, it was popping, like his live was popping, and some other couple people that I subscribed to, they somewhat did a reaction, or they just mentioned him, but it wasn't very in depth. They said mentioned he got arrested, and then his dad kicked him out. Like, this all happened like in one day. So as I'm watching this video, um, like bits and pieces of his live streams that other people re-uploaded, um, it was pretty bad. But this is one reason why his dad let him drive, knowing he was effed up. Okay, and then he gets pulled over, and as bad as what someone's going through, okay, you do not put your life in danger and other people's life in danger by drinking and driving. He was like, and I'm not saying there's okay. One time, me and my brother, we he had 4 beers in his system, okay, and I don't drink, and a cop pulled him over, and we switched seats. Okay, and this is like 20 years ago, right? No, a little bit. Jesus Christ, time flies by. But it was funny because the cop didn't know, and my brother wasn't like, whatever 4 beers would get you, but like I'm assuming he would have probably like barely got, let's say he was arrested, but he probably was borderline like above the legal limit or something. Like, let's say if it's .06 or 7, whatever the alcohol, he would have barely been over, or maybe just missed it, or whatever, right? Um, but I remember just doing that, and then some other shit happened, but the cop ended up searching the vehicle, right? Okay, and my brother had my grandma's ashes in the back of the car. He was very close to my grandmother, even though she was a mean Italian bitch. Okay, like ugh. Even other family members didn't like her. Like people in the family didn't like her. And she wasn't a very loving grandma, but for some reason, my brother, for some reason, he was fond of her. Is that the way to say it? Fond, or she had a liking towards him. Okay, and when the cop opened up the back trunk, and he knocked down the ashes, my grandmother's ashes, um, and I guess he felt a little bad, and then he ended up, all right, man, whatever. I don't remember. And I think he pulled my brother over for something stupid too. Like, it wasn't. I don't even think it was alcohol. We were in this nice neighborhood, okay, and I think he just saw like an older, like a Honda Prelude, and then said, "Hey, I don't think these people belong here," or some shit. They're not in a Mercedes, or I don't know. Shit was whatever. But no. But with Heat and Secede, okay, if it's alcoholism, but he people say this is what happens when you're a sub 5. He looks Hispanic. He looks Mexican. He's got kind of like the big. He looks like a Mexican drunk. He's got the big head, the big features. With being Mexican, on top of being an alcoholic, I'm assuming, or just a lot of bloated. His face is real bloated. He talks like a drunk. There was this Mexican guy named Frank that I knew from California when I was stationed there. He wasn't in the military, but we were pretty cool friends, and he was an alcoholic, and he basically looked like Mexican Frank. Even the way, like, when he's drinking and he's drunk, the way he was like gargling, the way he didn't succeed was gargling. Another problem with Heat and Secede is he has a support system. He lived with his father, his father kicked him out, right? And it looked like his father was tired of his shit. Um, but like, it's not over for you if you have a place to live. So all he had to do was not be a drunk or not. To me, like, if he didn't succeed, wanted to go to school, a small trade school, just to be like well, he can't be like a bus driver now, or because of the DUI. But like, whatever he wanted to do, like, if he even worked like a lower end job, he could still do okay because he has a place to stay. Me, right? Like, there's a part. Okay, I'm playing Dying Light. If you can, I'm playing Dying Light 2. Okay, yes, my apartment's a little messy. Look what I got. I got Lysol. I got my reading glasses. I got Gatorade. I got my eye drops. I got my running gel. I got my cup. It's kind of one of those, like, I need like 5 minutes just to straighten up, right? But I paid $12.25 a month for this apartment in bum shit fucking Texas, right? Almost middle of nowhere for the most part. But I got to get the fuck out of here. I got to go. But I don't think he has to do, like, okay, so if I don't have $12.25 at the end of the month, I'll be homeless, right? The food in my refrigerator, yeah, I got my running stuff. I got my little, my collectibles. Let's go over here. Okay, I got these boxes of Generation 1 Transformers. Okay, then we come back. You can see that. Got this TV right here. But if you come back over here too, you can see some of my collectibles, right? Some of the graphic novels that I still have, but like the amount of pressure that I go through. And keep in mind, I didn't manage my money very well. I got to even though I don't drink alcohol, I don't need haircuts anymore. Okay. I haven't paid for a haircut in like 7 years, and now haircuts are expensive. So even my maintenance is kind of high, like my vitamins and me training and stuff like that. But it's like money just freaking goes. So yeah, I got a bunch of fucking colognes and shit too. Go up there, right there. Okay, but both my parents are dead. And then family, we get spread it out. So I don't have anywhere to really vent, or like in case something happens to me, I'm kind of asked out. That's why relationships too, the amount of pressure that's put on me, and these women have families. They've had exes. They have, one lady that I met, she wanted me to personally train her in the gym. That's her. She says, "Can you train me?" Like, do you want a boyfriend or do you want a free personal trainer? She got blocked, but I'm like, Jesus Christ already. So, I don't think he didn't succeed, other than like, if he gave money away to women or something that you look at him and say, I can get something out of him. Where him being kind of a sub 5 that doesn't have money or doesn't have his shit together, it kind of, no, he's invisible unless he gets drunk like he did, right? He's pretty much invisible. And then, yeah, Dying Light 2 is a badass game. And I'm still rocking the PS4. Okay? The PS4, I don't see the point of having the PS5. PS5 fucking sucks. Okay? But anyways, so let me straighten up a little. So what it is with him is he starts by getting hammered, right? And it's almost like one of those where you have a breaking point, where you just like, his copes ran out. So what have been my copes? Like, everything in life is a cope, right? So, running is not just a hobby for me. It's how I cope. When I couldn't run, when I fractured my hip, I was very depressed. Especially it's kind of who I am too, right? Me being a physically in shape guy, it's I don't have where Tony's a drunk guy, Tony's a party guy. None of that, right? I don't have anything to really say this is, I'm Catholic, I'm an Italian American, well, I'm half Puerto Rican. My dad's from Puerto Rico. But even in church, I'm still, especially in Texas, where it's dominantly Mexicans at these Catholic churches for the most part, I don't have anything in common with them. I even go to church, I go to mass, and then I do my thing. I'm in there for an hour and I just walk out. I don't get involved with not even a church community. It's just not for me. A Mexican Catholic church, even though the mass is in English, is different than being an Italian American at a Catholic church. It's almost night and day, right? So I don't have like a strong support system. He has a father. He drove home drunk. He's got this bottle of liquor that he waited. Okay, so he showed up to this. I don't know if the gas station was first or second because I've just seen clips. Okay, but let's just say like the gas station was. I don't know where he came because okay, in Texas, like they have kind of different laws, but like in Texas, you can't buy alcohol like on Sundays until like after like 11 or 12 or something. And I think their dry times are a little bit different. Like in California, I think it's from like two. Well, I think it's from 2 to 6 or 2 to 7 because he couldn't buy alcohol. In Texas, I'm thinking like I think it's till 10 or something like that. Or something because I was in line at Albertsons and there was this guy that was in El Paso, and there was a guy that was trying to buy alcohol, and then they told him he was already drunk, okay, but he was real nice. He was actually an Asian guy. I think he went to UTIP or something because the Albertsons is close to UTIP, and but he was so nice, and then the lady was telling him, no, you can't buy alcohol. You got to wait until like 10 or something like that. But he was just like, I think they were Japanese or something, right? Like almost like foreign exchange students or something. But they didn't act like he didn't succeed. But these two Japanese guys were drunk. So okay, so he shows up and I don't know if it looked like a gas station, but then when you go inside, it looks almost like this nice convenience store. So it looked like a giant gas. It almost looked like a Buc-ee's that I've seen in Texas or something, like because there was aisles, there was self checkout. So I don't know what type of grocery store it was or gas station looking thing. So when you have that, when you're invisible to people, okay, and then you're intoxicated, you start just rambling. Okay, he started talking to the cashier, the employees, just random. The guy, well, no, I think it was a gas station because the guy was actually feeling. It was a gas station with like a grocery store inside, right? Not just simple shit. Like a complete grocery store, very clean looking. So he's talking to the gas. The truck driver, the ones that bring in gas, that fill in the gas tanks. Forgot what they're called. And he's just making random anybody that walked by him. He basically was trying to talk to them, and then he's trying to talk about the universe and the outer world and energy and cosmos. And then some people talk to them, and then some people like didn't want to talk to him. Okay, or they or for whatever reason. So he talks to the younger cashier in this store, and she could have been a Karen. I think she kind of overreacted. But he's saying like, yeah, you're making her very uncomfortable. He didn't say anything sexual to her. He said things like, you like your job, and let me explain. At gas stations and cashiers, they deal with a lot of freaking violent, not maybe not too violent, but aggressive, rude people. And I think he wasn't. He was drunk. Okay, I don't think he said anything, and not enough where the lady needed to show up, the older lady, and butt in or whatever. He was just talking. I don't think it was that big of a deal. Okay, okay, but he had to wait like 15 minutes to buy liquor. Okay, and he actually waited. He didn't get violent. He didn't get. I don't think he's a bad guy at all. I don't think he's a horrible person. Even when he was talking to random people, there was a sense of mannerisms to him. He would like yeah, he was drunk and kind of being stupid, right? But he would say like, okay, God bless, take care. Like a lot of that, like at the end of the conversations with people. So he would say like, "Can I talk to you for a minute? You got a minute?" So there was a sense of mannerisms, right? Like I don't think he would go out his way to like harm anyone or do. He was drunk, okay. And what people they don't look at you like he's going through some things. And I don't condone his drinking and driving. That's where it stops right there, right? That's where like okay, don't do that. Okay, okay. He got pulled over. He got arrested, and he's when he got pulled over, um, he told the cop, he said, "Get me for whatever, charge me for whatever you're gonna charge me," or something like that. And then it looked like he was gonna be very compliant. And then I don't know what happened, but then you can tell he started getting like I think they dragged him out of the cop the car, his car, not his cop car, but the vehicle. And it could have got bad. They could have beat the shit out of him. He could have pretended that when if his life was gonna like where it was nonstop, like one thing after the another with him, he could have just done something and said, "Go ahead and shoot me, police officer." Pretend like he's reaching for a gun or something like that. Okay. You know, if I was a police officer, um, and you want to say like you're going through something. The last thing we want to do is charge you for a DUI. It wasn't like he was coming out of a club with hickeys on his neck and he had the time of his life and then he got pulled over. He was already in a shitty situation and now his life just became more shittier. I don't know. I didn't watch like his updated videos. I don't know if I'm hoping his dad let him back in the house. Um, and I would say like, he didn't succeed. Like you didn't kill anybody drinking and driving. You didn't even damage your vehicle. It's kind of fucked up because I went a few years without a vehicle and I was living like out of Airbnbs, overpaying. I didn't have like any like stability for myself. I don't know if I'm just a grifter like that, if I'm just one of those people that just like the whole point of me moving somewhere and then me having to sign a lease and saying I can't leave for 6 months to a year kind of felt like I was in prison or something. I lived out of Airbnbs because I could just grab my bag and get the fuck out if I don't like something. If the neighbors are too loud, I couldn't, it was, I couldn't do it. It was getting too expensive and it was getting exhausting. I stay at a place for like 3 weeks, maybe a month, and then go find another Airbnb in the city that I was living in, and then do that. And I was paying freaking in Texas. I was paying more for these fucking apartments or renting a room out through Airbnb, what people pay for their mortgage and shit, right? It's just everything for me without a support system, and me just kind of being what's the word for it? A little bit too generous for the stuff that I've been through. I paid the price a little bit, right? There's no way I should have gone without a vehicle for it wasn't 4.5. I think it was 3 years and 11 months, almost 4 years. Okay, without a vehicle. Um, that was on me. Even with vehicle inflation, um, I checked out of life. I just wanted to have a simple life, take the bus, take Uber if I really need it, and I have these car payments, not to pay for insurance, any added stress like that. But I need a vehicle. Okay, it's a necessity for me. Um, With him, it just kind of sucks because he has a vehicle, a running vehicle, and he decides to drink and drive like a dumbass, right? And his dad, um, I don't know if he's an enabler, but like he then Sassid came back to that gas station and bought a bottle of liquor. I'm assuming, right? And then he goes home, and then his dad took the bottle of liquor and kicked him out, like for himself or something. But it's like all that for nothing. Like going to the gas station, he and Sassid waited 15 fucking minutes to get his liquor, and I don't even drink. But he still was respectful in that manner, right? He came back, he bought the alcohol. Um, in the time that you're allowed at 7, okay? I guess California from 2 to 7, you can't, or 7:01. The lady said 7:01. Okay, no, I'm assuming now the McDonald's is after because when the cop put him over, he said, "Yeah, we also got a call that you were getting aggressive violent at McDonald's." So yeah, that had to be gas station first. I think his dad kicked him out. So he had to be drinking all night then, because if he showed up to that gas station at 6 something in the morning and he was still drunk, he had to be up then. I don't know what time he started drinking then. And he's asking people in the live chat, "What do you want to see? What do you want me to do?" And then some people are saying nice things. And then some people are saying it's over for him, or this he's going out sad during the whole like. And then some people are trying to help him, and then other people aren't helping him. Right? It's like you'd be surprised. Like all your subscribers and shit want you to fail, right? Like Jesus fucking Christ. And that's another thing too is I've been not in that particular situation, but in a similar situation where like I'll even say it to myself, like, or to anyone watching. When I was overly tipping at the commissary, right? This isn't alcohol, okay? But what these baggers would do, the baggers work for tips, and these women would surround. All three of them would start talking to me, and they would tell me like, "Oh, you got a nice body. Oh, you're the handsome one." Making me feel good, right? And then I'd buy like maybe 10 items, and they're all trying to bag my groceries, even though there's just a few I could bag them myself. Yeah, the commissary on the military bases, the baggers work for tips. They're like independent. I don't know why they do that. So they even pointed at me one time and saying like he's the one that tips, because a lot of people go to self checkout because they don't want to tip the baggers, and I understand. So I went to self checkout, and a Hispanic lady, she goes, "I'm surprised you're not over there with the Filipina ladies and having them bag your groceries." And I explained to her, I said, "Yeah, I had to stop." I go, all of them wanted a tip, and I'd have three Filipinas bagging my groceries, and all of them want money, and I don't even use a shopping cart. I'll even come back in the store, and they're still want to bag my groceries, and I got to tip them all over again, or I feel pressure, and I go, "Yeah, I had to tell them, not to be not. I don't want all three. I need one bagger now," and she goes, "Yeah, because and this is what came out of her mouth. She slipped it, and she goes, "Yeah, when I would see you, I'd be like, man, that man's very dumb." And she goes, "Oh, I mean crazy for being overly nice like that." So, but the first thing that came out of her mouth was dumb, and then I knew what she meant. Yeah, she's right. So what you're doing is all you're showing is that to the outside world, or to people that are not in your circle, they just look at you like you're an idiot. Okay, they don't look at you. They don't look at he and Sassid like he has feelings. He's going through some shit. They just look at him as just a drunk ass Mexican, or he looks Mexican, just a drunk. And the way he looks and the way his dad looks like he kind of takes care of himself. His dad looks like he's got, um, you know, some brain cells, right? So I don't know if there's pressure like where he can't live up to his father's expectations. I don't know, but to be a grown man like that, I don't know how old he didn't succeed. Because with alcoholism and obesity, and yes, he's not the best looking. No one's the best looking guy, but um, you can't really tell how old he is. I don't know if he's 25, 30, 35. I don't know. He's got too much fat from drinking in his face and too much water retention. So, but yeah, I don't uh it was kind of, it was sad, man. Uh it was almost like a horror movie with, not a horror movie because no one really got hurt, but it was almost like a movie that you were watching with a director, a producer, because so many, it was like nonstop. Um, and I think with the McDonald, I don't know what set him off, but he kind of almost like went back to the McDonald's like where they were working at. Like if he like went be like almost like he went behind the register and all that. Like he was in their working space. So I mean, and then one thing too is, man, like McDonald's fast food employees, like, yeah, some of them could be rude and dipshits, but and I don't eat fast food for the most part, almost at all. I haven't been to McDonald's in freaking a year and a half. Okay. Um, but they deal with a lot of shit too. So just don't when you're going through something, try your best not to take it out on people, because it's not right. And then the thing is when people see you, um, they just see you as a drunk motherfucker. Like you're not even a person, you're just a thing. So don't give people an excuse. When I joined boot camp, right, 20 something years ago, when I joined boot camp, when I joined the military, and in boot camp, I remember the RDC, like their equivalent to a drill sergeant. Um, he said if you he told me to tuck in my shirt, because my shirt was always getting tucked out in boot camp, right? Because I end up like gaining weight or something, a little like muscle, a little bit of muscle, and for some reason my clothes didn't fit me. Once they fitted me all wrong, okay, like the measurements and shit like that. And then he told me, he goes, yeah, if you look like shit, you're gonna get treated like shit. That's just how the world acts. And he told me this in 1997 because my shirt was always tucked out. And then when I went to my A school, like your MOS school, I had to buy new fucking uniforms. And I was an E nothing, right? Like they give you a set of uniforms, but the rest you got to start buying they give you a clothing allowance every year. But no, I had to buy shit. My shit was all high water, and I think I grew like an inch, even though I'm only 5'8 1/4. But I went from like 5'5 1/2 to like 5'7 1/2 in boot camp. I grew 2 inches, so my clothes didn't fit me, and then I grew like another inch. Oh shit! So at 18 I grew like 3 inches. Or 18 to 20 I grew in. Thank fucking God. Those 3 inches fucking matter. I don't want to be fucking 5'5". I don't, and I'm not making fun of people that are 5'5", but I'd rather be 5'8 1/4 than goddamn 5'5". Um, so, but yeah. I hope he didn't succeed. I think he can get over this. I don't think he'll pay his fines. He didn't kill anyone. I'm assuming this is his first DUI. The courts don't care that I'm going through some shit. I'm a incel black pillar motherfucker. They don't care about that. They want his money. They want him to pay his fines. But he definitely shouldn't be driving. It's funny. I don't drink, and I didn't have a vehicle for almost 4 years. And people like he didn't succeed. Lives with his father, gets in the vehicle intoxicated. His dad didn't stop him. His dad is at fault a little bit too. Um, You know, so he doesn't got a horribly wrong or bad. He has it bad, but you'll get through this. He didn't succeed. Just stop the booze, man. Please stop. Talk to you later, or anyone watching later.